Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Collision. I'll be honest and say this was definitely not a fun episode for me to sit through. I didn't care too much for it. If it wasn't for the live stream, I would have been bored watching this on my own. For me, I just didn't like this from top to bottom. I did enjoy the opening match, which was the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. Toni Storm going against Lady Frost. Lady Frost is really, really talented, but whenever I see her, I just know she's taking the L. She has a really great match with Toni Storm. I love the fact that we're seeing more and more of Toni Storm in the ring. This is really great to be able to see your top performer performing a lot more often, even if it's just Dynamite or Collision, and she looks absolutely amazing. So did Lady Frost, but she ends up taking the L. What's new? Toni Storm, she ends up getting on the mic after, and she's calling her. Well, I love when she says all these things, referring to herself as a tramp and whores and all this thing. I think it's so fucking, like, she has a humor that it just fits my humor. And if anyone's not enjoying her, I would find that like really, really strange, because I think that she has so much talent, not just in the ring, but she has something that a lot of people don't have. It's just that personality and just her just being entertaining no matter what she does. I really did enjoy that. She goes outside and run outside to, I think they were in New Jersey, and she's like out on the balcony where the boardwalk is, and she's screaming onto the microphone, and people are looking up from her from the boardwalk like, what the hell is going on in that building? She's just absolutely flawless. I love Toni Storm. Now, after this, we do get a promo backstage from Jon Moxley. Marina Shafir is there. He says Shibata went to the hospital after what they did to him. And basically just talking about how he doesn't like Samoa Joe, but he respects him. But remember that he also respected Bryan Danielson, and he still got his hands on him. And that he ain't got no problem taking care of him in that steel cage match. Whoop-de-doo. Our next match is a four-way. Winner of that match get $100,000. Honestly, I don't really know why we're doing this again, but okay. And then here's the people in this match: Sammy Guevara, of all people, AR Fox, Kevin Knight, who just won $100K 2 weeks ago, and then Roosh. And I'm just like, all right, well, Roosh gonna get this, right? No, he did not. So Roosh was being really dominating here in this match. And honestly, just to see something different, I was just like, it would be nice to see Roosh take this, because every time they seem to start something with him, then we just don't see him for weeks or months at a time, and it's just back and forth. And I was like, this is a good opportunity to get things started. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Adam Cole, Dusty Ass, was on commentary in the beginning of the show. He comes out and he just comes out to the ring, his music plays, and then he leaves the ring, and then he goes out to do commentary. It felt like the weirdest shit ever. Anyway, he's on commentary still, and as he's doing commentary, all the way up in the rafters is fucking hologram watching the match, which is strange. And for me, I'm just like, whatever, Roosh should take the win. Roosh get into it with Kevin Knight, and when I tell you Roosh launched Kevin Knight on the ramp where I thought, well, maybe Kevin is dead. It got really brutal between the two of them, and they kept fighting on the ramp, then fighting on the stage, and all of a sudden we didn't see them anymore. And I was just like, all right, Roosh, you gonna take care of Kevin backstage and come back out? No. So now the rest of the match is just Sammy and AR Fox, and from there you already know where it's going. Sammy Guevara ends up taking the win. For what? I don't know. I am a little annoyed because, like, Sammy Guevara, some of y'all didn't even remember he was still in this company. He has the Ring of Honor Tag Championships for no reason over there. And now we're just giving $100K. And here's Sammy Guevara, who's pointing at Adam Cole for the TNT title, for a title shot. Why are people with titles looking for title shots when people who have zero are not doing anything else? This is so frustrating, where it's just like, Sammy Guevara has the Ring of Honor title, doing not a motherfucking thing with that. But then you're putting him on TV to have another opportunity to get $100K. That's one thing. And then an opportunity to go for the TNT title. What the hell are we doing? This is just so ridiculous. Now after this, we get a Samoa Joe doing his promo, basically saying he's gonna break Jon Moxley and then he's gonna end up whooping his ass inside that steel cage. Lovely. After this, we get a promo from Paragon, and we get FTR as well. Long story short, they won a 2 out of 3 falls match against FTR, and FTR accepts. Then we just had a match with these two idiots, these two teams last Saturday, and then the past few months we've had like a total of like 5 to 6 matches with these people alone. I was furious at this point. After this, Megan Bayne goes against Harley Cameron. Can you believe it? For the first time that I'm observing since Megan Bayne has been in AEW, that during a match we actually go to commercial break. Typically, Megan Bayne is squashing people quickly and then it's over. But here we are. Harley Cameron, who in my opinion is over with the fans and has improved, but not well enough to be going into commercial break with Megan Bayne. Megan Bayne beats her, but it made it, the way she worked with Harley made it look like it was a bit of a struggle. I find that very, very unbelievable to me, but that's how you know Megan Bayne is a great worker. She ends up taking the win. After that, Penelope and Megan are putting the hurt onto Harley Cameron, and here comes Anna Jay, who comes to help. And honestly, it's okay to me, but Harley Cameron doing all that, none of that is believable for me. Now after this, Jon Moxley actually came right back out, this time to the ring with Marina Shafir. Marina beat up a couple of security guards on the way over, and he gets on there basically responding to Samoa Joe's little video from earlier. And I'm just going to be honest, when I tell you the whole crowd just wasn't feeling it, Jon Moxley, that's my guy. I love Jon Moxley, but I just feel like everything, it keeps feeling the same when it comes to this group. Like, why is nothing feeling different? The crowd, I don't think it has anything to do with him being a heel. I think there is a lack of connection with Jon Moxley right now, with the Death Riders as a group. That lack of connection with the fans and the crowd, it's you can see it in the way that the crowd is reacting. Some of them are really, really quiet, and then the rest of them are just saying Joe's gonna kill you. It's something about that mixed reaction in terms of nobody seemed to care. I just did not like it at all. I'm gonna be honest and say I'm kind of over the whole thing with the Death Riders. If they can't fix it at this point, it's time to move on. Now after this, Outrunners, they got new cute shirts that are somehow not available to buy. If y'all are having these wrestlers wear new merch on the show, it should be available for people to buy right there and then, because people are seeing it right there and they're gonna be like, oh, that's cute, let me grab my little phone and see how much the shirt costs. And then you go on there and it's not there. Your marketing team, AEW, fire them. Now, Outrunners, they have a message for Roppongi Vice, which is Trent Beretta and them abs, Lord have mercy, and Rocky Romero. Basically saying, since y'all attacked our asses last week, we want to go against y'all and beat y'all up. Whatever. We'll see when that happens. After this, Brody Kane goes against Josh Alexander. This, I didn't realize it, because typically I don't pay attention to when they say such and such time limit. They don't typically get to a draw when it comes to these matches, so I didn't think anything of it up until they said 1 minute left. For the longest, it seemed like, well, we had 15 minutes. And for the longest, it seems like Brody King is holding on to that leg. It's not looking good. He's limping. And Josh seems to be getting over on Brody. And for me, I'm just like, Josh got here. I don't want him to lose. But I also don't want Brody, who's been here for a long time, who hasn't seemed to get over as a singles competitor, to lose either way. And here comes Tony Khan hitting y'all with a time limit draw. Now after this, here comes Lance Archer, who comes on out there to beat up on Brody. For a minute, Brody's able to get his hands on both Josh and Lance, but that doesn't last too long when Josh Alexander ends up attacking him in the back of the leg, and they end up scurrying away like flies. And the referee's checking up on Brody, who's laid out outside the ring. I like both of these guys, but maybe I'll be biased and say like because of the fact that Brody has been in the company for a long time, I am more interested in seeing him be able to go over, and I just don't know when that's going to happen. After this, we get a little promo from Crew. I don't know where they were at, where they filmed a little video, but they're basically saying that the whole thing with Top Flight is done. They're over it. They're moving on to bigger and better things. They wasted their time with Top Flight and they're moving on. Okay, lovely. We moved on to the best wrestler alive, not just me, Max Caster, who is doing the same challenge, but this time it's who can beat me in 5 minutes. And we're waiting for a so-and-so to come on out, and it's Daniel Garcia. Lovely. Daniel Garcia comes out there and beats him in 59 seconds. Okay, lovely. Honestly, I just really don't care. Daniel Garcia, he gets on the mic and he talks about something about what's his name? FTR, whatever the situation is. Honestly, I don't care. Anthony Bowens, he is after backstage with Daddy Ass, and here comes Blake Christian and Lee Johnson that interrupts, and Blake was like, look, you whooped my ass the other day. He's no, something to the effect of, you beat me the other day, but everybody was talking about how I outshined you, which ain't a lie. It's not a lie. That is true. And then here comes Lee Johnson, who's seemingly kind of saying like I can do the same thing too, and that anytime that he's ready to go against him, that they can go ahead and have their match, whatever. Anthony Bowens, I find it interesting that I don't really know what they're doing with him. Max Caster obviously is getting more TV time, even though it is for him to get his ass whooped. But Anthony Bowens, I have not yet seen or heard him do anything that I'm interested in, so I think it's gonna take a little bit of more time to work with me. Now, after this, we do have Gates of Agony that come on out there to go against local talent. And this was a really great squash. When I tell you that they look so dominating, so menacing, so everything that you would just want in a man. Oh my God, it's just lovely, lovely, absolutely lovely. It didn't really take long, but I feel like when we think of squashes, sometimes they don't prove a point. This one absolutely did. Now, when this is over, here is Crew. They were in the crowd watching. Leona, Bishop Khan, just like, oh, y'all watching? Keep watching then. But then here comes on the big screen, Big Bill, Brian Keith. They say, oh, we in the parking lot. We waiting on y'all. Then here comes Bishop Khan, Leona. They go out there, commercial break, and then here comes a brawl between both of these teams. Some random passerby with their luggage got his ass whooped too, but whatever. And I was just so invested in that moment. And all of a sudden they stop the whole, well, they don't stop what's happening. It continues, but they stop showing it so we can go to the 2 out of 3 Falls main event with FTR and Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong for the 1,000,000th time. I was like, I'd rather see that than to see this match for the 1,000,000th time. They've already had one a few weeks ago, 2 out of 3 Falls, and I'm just like, oh my God, well, whatever. Main event comes, and here's the thing. I think the reason why they're doing this is partially because that they have great chemistry with each other. They do. I really do feel like FTR and whatever the hell they call in this group now does have great chemistry with each other. But is it enough for people to want to see this on a weekly basis? Literally. We've seen them already like about 5-6 times since February. And it's just like, I don't think people are interested in seeing that. This goes back to the point where I said in my video yesterday that when y'all seeing people get released and stuff, stop crying about them coming over to AEW when people are sitting on the roster not doing anything, and we keep seeing the same motherfucking matches, same motherfucking people over and over again. You have a main event. Main event's supposed to be like your most important thing. And if you're going to tell people on Saturday night, don't go to the club, don't go out with your friends, don't have nothing to do but watch us, give people a reason to sit through your show and to have a main event over and over again, where it's like people are not going to feel invested. When people are changing the channel, they know when people are changing the channel because they got the things in terms of the viewership and everything, and they'll be able to see when people are not interested. So this is definitely one of those situations. And for me, although the match was not bad, it just wasn't interesting seeing the same thing that I saw the week before in this very same match that we've already seen several times in the past couple of months. Kind of over it for me. And FTR ends up taking the win. Honestly, they didn't even need to spend a dime out of the overtime money to even go overtime on this when the main event was like 20 minutes plus. And it is what it is. Fucking Danny Garcia comes out with a crowbar again, coming at Stokely and FTR, and basically saying he doesn't care if he fights Stokely, Dax, or fucking whatever the other one name is. He wants to fight them, and that's pretty much it. Overall, I found the show to be boring, to be honest with you. I loved the whole thing. Tony Storm, fucking amazing. I loved the Gates of Agony, Brian Keith, Big Bill, little fiasco that they had going on. Everything else kind of felt like to me. For a Saturday night, they have to bring it. They have to bring it because less people are going to want to watch on a Saturday because of social life and all that shit. And just make it a little bit more interesting. I don't really know if I should even say, like, what should they do to make it interesting? But, like, giving rematch after rematch after rematch after motherfucking rematch is just not enough. I'd rather be sitting here talking about the New Japan show I saw yesterday because that was more interesting than this show. Tony Khan, not every show is going to be a hit, but for this, I don't know. This could have been so much better than what it is. I think maybe if they used Collision to focus a little bit more on the people who who you'll never probably see on a Dynamite, that would be better because it's kind of feeling like everybody we saw on Dynamite is everybody that we're seeing on Collision. I would rather see the people that they're not using as much. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. Don't forget, Collision next week will be on Thursday, not Saturday. That'll be live on Thursday, and I'll see you guys then.